Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into something that's probably been keeping you up at night: the direct return on investment, the actual ROI of ditching manual content creation and stepping into the future with factual, grounded AI automation. We all know the absolute grind of trying to keep up with consistent publishing, right? But what is that struggle actually costing your business? Let's find out. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll quantify that current content pain you're feeling. Next, we'll expose the trap of generic AI. Then, we'll define what factual automation actually is, dissect its verification engine, and finally, calculate the true ROI. Section 1. The high cost of silence, quantifying the pain. We usually just brush off missed posts as a minor marketing hiccup. But man, the data tells a much darker story about our bottom line. Consider this massive baseline cost for a second. 80. That is 80 plus hours lost every single week by marketing and engineering teams who are just desperately struggling to keep up with manual posting. Honestly, that's time completely stolen from high-level strategy, from product development, and from actually building relationships, all just to feed the content machine. And you can see exactly how this content creation drain leads straight to overloaded schedules. When drafting is purely manual, it creates this massive bottleneck. The result? Total inconsistency. And as we're going to see, inconsistency absolutely kills your algorithmic reach on professional platforms. So here is the brutal financial penalty of that bottleneck. On LinkedIn, your reach is dictated by your social selling index, or SSI. If your content goes quiet, your SSI decays, period. When your SSI drops below 30, it triggers a staggering 45% drop in inbound opportunities. Silence literally costs you deals because the right people simply aren't seeing you anymore. Section 2. The generic AI trap. Why quick fixes fail. Now, if manual work is failing us on time and consistency, you might be thinking, hey, why not just use a standard cloud AI wrapper like a basic ChatGPT prompt? Well, let's look at why that's a dangerous trap. The reality is, existing tools force these totally unacceptable compromises onto your business. Sure, basic wrappers are fast, no doubt about it, but they hallucinate dangerous false facts. They sound completely generic, which makes your content super easy to ignore. And worst of all, they can destroy your brand trust and risk your proprietary data by sending everything to the cloud. When you compare these methods directly, the contrast is kind of shocking. Manual teams, well, they fail on time, even though they protect your voice and privacy. Cloud AI saves time, but fails completely on brand voice and data privacy. But look at that bottom row. A factual automation system like the SSI booster passes every single critical test. It gives you the incredible speed of AI, but with the total safety of a manual review. Section 3. Factual AI automation explained, the local first solution. Okay, let's transition and understand exactly how this new privacy-first mechanism actually works to give us those perfect results. Factual AI automation isn't just another basic prompt wrapper. It's an adaptive, 100% local, continual learning system. It uses RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, which basically means it pulls from your actual verified documents rather than just guessing. And because it runs entirely locally via an engine called Llama, it doesn't need any cloud AI keys. It generates, validates, and routes posts securely using real project facts and domain knowledge from your own private persona graph. It's a total game changer. Section 4. The 4-layered truth gate, zero hallucinations. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does it technically prevent the dreaded AI hallucination? Let's dive into the core validation engine. The system has this absolute defense against false facts. It relies on an automated gate that actively strips out unsupported claims before anything ever gets close to your buffer publishing queue. Basically, if the AI generates a sentence that isn't backed by hard evidence, this system catches it and either fixes it on the spot or just trashes it entirely. The secret sauce here is its 4-step technical progression. First, it uses a highly efficient search algorithm known as BM25 to retrieve actual evidence. Second, it calculates a literal mathematical derivative of truth score for the text it generated. Third, it verifies semantic similarity using natural language processing. And finally, it uses named entity recognition, or NER, to validate organization names. It's basically a multi-layered fortress ensuring undeniable accuracy. Section 5. The true automation ROI, measuring the payoff. So, with the mechanics proven, what does this actually mean for your day-to-day operations? Just looking at this workflow, from extracting data points out of a raw source, to validating facts locally, all the way to pushing it directly to your scheduled queue, the system entirely automates factual verification. And it does all of this without ever sacrificing your brand's unique voice. The tangible return on your investment here is massive. By implementing Factual AI automation, you're looking at a 90% reduction in manual posting time. 90%. You get perfect replication of your brand voice safely achieved. You get automated factual verification and seamless scheduling. And because the system features closed-loop learning based on what actually gets published, your operational advantage compounds week after week. You're no longer trading your team's valuable time just to feed an algorithm. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to consider for your own business. What could your team accomplish? What new strategies could they build, and what relationships could they forge if they got 90% of their content creation time back? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some incredible ideas for your workflow.